And we are back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we're going to talk about Mike Trout changing positions this upcoming season. So I said this before the break. He is going to be going from center field to right field. And this is what he was saying to reporters, kind of just do everything on the table as in what's best for my body wise to keep me on the field. Came to the conclusion that I'm going to go to right field. I like it, try it out, see where it goes. I knew it was coming, just got to get used to it. I just want to be on the field. And yeah, it's been such a tough stretch for Mike Trout. You know, during his prime years, I mean, he was the best player in baseball. He was the best player in baseball. And I was happy when he finally won an MVP because it just seemed like he was always coming in second place to Miguel Cabrera because Miguel Cabrera and his stretch during the early 2010s was unbelievable. But yeah, Mike Trout, it's been tough these last several years. 2024, he only played in 29 games. 2023, he played in 82 games. He played in 119 in 2022, 36 in 2021. Uh, did play in most of the games during the COVID season. He played in 53 of the 60 games. And then, before COVID, he pretty much played every day. Missed a handful of games, some years, but, pretty much played the vast majority of games. But, yeah, from 2021 on, it's been really tough. It's been really tough. Um, he's played in only 266 of 348 possible regular season games the last 4 years, to put it into perspective, or 41%. He's missed time, calf strain, back inflammation, um, broken bone in his hand, and then had a torn meniscus last year. Every year it's something new with Trout, and it's sad. It's sad. You want to see Mike Trout on the field, and the other thing too is I just wish that he could have played somewhere else besides the Angels. I think he had the options to, but he chose to stay with the Angels, and you know, could he be traded at some point? I guess, but you know, it, the Angels have just been a disappointment. And they tried to bring in help, but there's been so many bad contracts. They brought in Pujols, that turned out to be a bad contract. Josh Hamilton was a bad contract. You went out and you got Anthony Rendon, and now he's going to be out again. That's been one of the worst contracts you could say in all sports, is Anthony Rendon. And this is a guy that won a World Series with the Nationals. Came over to the Angels, and it has not worked. And then, of course, they had Ohtani, and, he left too. And it's just Mike Trout, and the Angels, I don't really have any expectations for them going into the season, even with the healthy Mike Trout, because Mike Trout can't do it all by himself. But now he's at the point where he can't stay on the field. So, and if he can't stay on the field, then you really don't expect anything out of the Angels. But either way, like I said, if Trout's on the field, Angels are not doing anything this year. It's been a disappointing stretch for him. And also the other thing too is he's only been to the playoffs one time. That's the crazy part. One of the crazier parts. He's only been to the playoffs one time. That was back in 2014. That is going on 11 years ago. And on top of that, they didn't even win a playoff game in that series against the Royals. They didn't win. They had home field advantage in that series, and they did not win. And they haven't made it to the playoffs since. So, and that's not going to change this year. It's probably not going to change next year. Really, for me, I just want to see Mike Trout stay healthy because he's a great player, seems like a really good person, and he got very emotional over it last year when he got hurt, when he tore his meniscus. Because it's like, oh, it's another injury. And, I don't want him to retire prematurely. But it's getting to that point. He's only, I think he's 33 now. He's only 1 year older than Aaron Judge. And he's dealing with all these injury problems. You hate to see it. You really do. But this is good for him because now you're not covering all that ground out there in center field. And that's why, and speaking of Aaron Judge, that's an issue that some people had with him playing center field. Now, different body types, obviously, when you're comparing Mike Trout and Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is a big dude. And obviously, when he's getting older, you want to get him off his feet. You don't want him to, you don't want that wear and tear to catch up to Judge, having to cover all that ground out in center field. Now, we're not going to have to worry about it because, he's going to be playing right field again this year with Soto leaving, of course. So you hope that, again, different body types, but different situations. Judge has dealt with injuries, but a lot of them were fluke injuries. He's diving for balls, he's banging into walls, getting hit by pitches. Different kind of injuries. But yeah, Mike Trout plays the game tough too. But yeah, I think we're all hoping that Mike Trout can stay on the field this year and, play a decent amount of games, get back to the All-Star game, and, just put together a productive season. But I just, I don't think the Angels are going to do anything this year. So that's really my hopes is for Mike Trout to just stay healthy and have a good year. That's it. But the other thing too is players being approached with, hey, would you mind doing this? Would you mind doing that? Playing this position, or this position, whatever. There are some players that will agree to it. Yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to help the team win. But then you have other players that are just like, no, I won't do that. So, Aaron Judge would rather play right field, but Aaron Boone's like, hey, can you play center field? He's like, yeah. Mookie Betts, he's played all over the place. Outfield, second base, shortstop, whatever the team needs. Now you got Mike Trout. Well, Mike Trout's a little different, though, because they're just doing it to try to prevent injury. But, again, I'm sure, they asked him to play right field, even without the injuries, he would do it. But then you got guys like Marcus Stroman and even Rafael Devers, where the media's talking to Stroman, and obviously unique circumstances. Hopefully the Yankees are able to find someone to, trade him to, because he's not going to be a part of the starting rotation. But the media was asking Stroman, hey, would you pitch out of the bullpen? He's like, no, I'm a starter. He's a starter. He will not pitch out of the bullpen. And last year the Yankees dealt with something similar with Gleyber Torres, where they asked him, hey, they approached him with the idea of going to third base, and he said, no, I'm a second baseman. Or I think it was, either way, he said he wants to play second. So that's why they moved Jazz Chisholm over to third. And then Rafael Devers, they were asking him, because they signed Alex Bregman, would you DH? Would you play first? And he's like, no, I'm a third baseman. Like, why do we have to be so difficult? First of all, first base is one thing, because that's, an actual position. But DH, I don't think it means every day. But, I'm not a Red Sox fan, so I'm not, close to the situation. But I don't think that means, like, all the time. I think it just means on certain days, hey, could you play first base? Could you DH? I don't see the problem with DHing. You're not playing a position. You're just going up there and hitting. And Devers is great at hitting. He's their best player. But it's just, why not do what the team asks of you. But people have their own agendas. So I get that, but it's just I don't know. Many people appreciate the team players that they'll do anything that the team wants them to do, and fans like that. But when you have guys that are like, "Nah, I'm not doing that," that kind of that's kind of a bad reflection. I don't know. But back to Mike Trout. Like I said, hopefully you stay healthy with this position change, and I'm sure he's really worked his tail off to make sure that he stays healthy this year, and I think we're all rooting for that. And we'll see how it goes. Spring training is this week, so buckle up. Baseball season is around the corner, and actually, some news. So Joe Buck will actually be calling a baseball game on opening day. He'll be calling Yankees Brewers. So for Yankee fans, I'm sure a lot of you are not thrilled by that because of his commentary. You know what? When it comes to Joe Buck, when I was younger, I fell into that category. But as I'm older now, I miss him doing baseball. I miss him doing the World Series. I miss him doing the Super Bowl. It's very odd, but that's kind of where I'm at. And I never thought I would feel this way, but I'm actually almost happy about this. But actually, I'm not. But not because of Joe Buck. But I think it's because it's going to be so the Yankees will be on ESPN. I think it's an ESPN exclusive game, so it won't be on the YES network, which is their home network. That kind of takes me off a little bit, just because I'd rather watch the Yankees on their network as opposed to a national network, but especially on opening day. But that's just how it is. I would like to go to opening day, and we'll see if that happens. But just another thing to add, some more baseball news there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think though about Mike Trout's position change. Do you think that's going to help? Let me know in the comments. And that is pretty much it for the show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows as well on the network. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And until next time, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.